detective, thrill me.
The Thrill Me podcast returns with I guess you'd call it a Thrill Me podcast light, Jared. It's more of a...
or you could call it the main event.
The main event, possibly. Yeah, tonight we're not going to be doing a film. We've been throwing this around for a few weeks, okay? After we did a rock film a while back, and this sort of sprung to mind. What we decided to do is take a look at wrestlers who have done some acting, okay? But what are we going to do with them, Jared?
Well, I believe we're pitting them head to head, mate. It's a card, and quite a card indeed.
What
Belts are on the line. Championships will be changing hands tonight.
I was going to call it...
Let's get ready to rumble.
I was going to call it Thrill Me Podcast SummerSlam, but you've decided to call it something else. Is that right?
Yeah, well...
Based on the films that
are involved and the... Let's be honest, the quality of actor involved, I thought shit fight might be more appropriate.
Yeah, I think that pretty much sums it up. Now, before I get into this, I watched a bit of wrestling in my youth, okay?
Yeah.
I was one of these guys who felt these blokes shouldn't be acting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You couldn't pronounce the names of the wrestlers though. Wasn't it Hulk Hogan?
Yeah, well, I was a young boy. I did call him Hulk Hogan. But looking at it now, you can kind of see why these guys get into acting and how they get into it.
Yeah.
Because there is that element outside of the ring.
Yeah, cutting promos and
and
a lot of that is just off the cuff.
Basically, these things play out kind of like a soap opera. Like it's almost it's sort of scripted soap opera wise, just outside the ring. I'm not saying they're great actors or anything like that, but there's a charisma and there's a presence to a lot of them.
Yeah, and you can see someone like The Rock was a natural sort of transition. You could see him when he's wrestling, he could cut the promos, he could have the crowd eating it out of the palm of his hand, but he could do a bit of the comedic stuff too. He was also an awesome bad guy. He could draw the heat. People fucking hated him early on because he was a swami kind of... He played it up, and he played it up very well.
So I can see how they get into
love with the bloke.
And of course, WWE being as big as they are, they basically created their own film division.
Well, we can see how some of them get into it. I mean, occasionally the old, Brutus Barber Beefcake sneaks into Thunder in Paradise, and you wonder why, and then remember, he was good mates with Hulk Hogan, so he found himself on the set, probably snuck into the wardrobe department, shuffled into shot like that bloke that used to sneak into sporting events.
That's right. So shit fight. We'll get underway with a tag team bout. So immediately on the card,
starting with the real heavy hitters here too.
Oh God, we've called this the extras tag team.
These are the jobbers. We've called the local talent. Said to a couple of blokes, "We've got $50 here if you want to get on the card."
This is one step above bum fight. This is just above that. So this is the extras tag team belt. Mm-hmm. Now what we have here is we have a team of Triple H and The Edge versus Kane and Nathan Jones. I don't believe he actually had a wrestling day.
Yeah, I think it was Nathan Jones, strongest man in the world, but I believe that he came...
Take a dive for anyone?
Well, because he did a stint in prison, and he did a stint in... It was called Boggo something or other, so I think he might have gone for the Beast of Boggo Road for a little while.
Now, we're in his... Obviously, being Australian, we're in his corner.
Oh,
being
absolutely.
An Aussie man. He's an Aussie... Plus, he's 6'6", built like a brick shithouse.
Yeah.
Or 6'10" or something.
He's a large man.
He's a large man. Okay, look.
A large slab of pure acting Karasama, would you say?
Well, that's not knock, Nathan, because him and Kane actually put together... I don't know if I'd call it a reasonable resume.
Yeah.
But... It's got a couple of
Nathan Jones has.
It's got a couple of See No Evil pictures.
Yeah.
I've seen the first one, steaming. MacGruber.
Yeah, we'll leave that one out.
And Jones comes in with some
comes in with some pepper.
Well, he comes in with the jewel of the crown, Mad Max, Fury Road.
Yep.
And then throws in a bit of Charlie's Farm.
He's actually had a couple though. He was in things like, wasn't he in some Tony Jaa stuff?
Yeah, he was in a bit of that. A little bit of that. I think it was the one where he's
The Protector.
Yeah, the Protector. Yes, the Protector. I think it was Protector 2 or something like that.
Yeah,
Jones had a fair bit of work outside of Australia, outside of the US and Australia.
He's had plenty
over in Asia. So Triple H and Edge come back with Blade Trinity, the worst of the Blade franchise.
It wasn't a big role.
No, but then again, none of these were big roles, I guess. Even looking at Kane and Jones.
Someone like Jones has had, even though they're not the best films, they've
had villain roles.
Large roles.
Yeah,
like Charlie's Farm and See No Evil. They were essentially the Freddy or the Jason for that particular movie, you know.
Okay, well look, we had Blade Trinity, so this is Edge and Triple H's moves. Blade Trinity, the worst of the series.
That's the standard old bloody punch to the breadbasket, that one.
Pretty much. Then he follows it up with heading to the turnbuckle with something called the Chaperone. I think it's kind of like I think it was kind of like your kindergarten cop type of low rent kindergarten cop type of thing.
That's not how you want to pitch a film.
No.
It's not an elevate. What do you got for us?
Low rent kindergarten
cop.
We've already made that. It's called the pacifier.
I mean, you've made a low rent kindergarten cop called Kindergarten Cop 2 with Dolph Lundgren.
Edge hasn't got a lot of movie credits, but he's actually had some reasonably long running roles on TV with a show called Haven and Vikings.
Yep.
So he's actually been around. So he gives him a little extra punch.
Wasn't Edge on The Flash? Was that
yes,
him?
He was. Yes, he was on The Flash.
One
so
episode.
he has a little bit of... He brings a little bit more to the table there, but to me...
It's a squash match, mate. It is a squash match. It's the Beast of Boggo Road.
Boggo Road and Kane gets the job done there. You know, strictly speaking, Mad Max probably gets a go
on its own.
Yeah, pretty much. So, extras tag team belt winners, Kane and Nathan Jones, the Beast of Boggo Road. So, first match out of the way.
Done.
The crowd is bloody celebrating after listening to those resumes.
The crowd, they're really, really pumped after that.
Okay, first singular
They're already
belt.
asking for refunds.
The first singular belt. It's called the Should We Be Making Movies belt. This is a couple of heavy hitters. Okay?
This is the equivalent of the I Quit match or the Leave Town match. Loser leaves town. Loser leaves the industry.
Yeah, this is the lead of the industry match, and I'm not going to lie to you, I wouldn't mind if either of them went.
Yeah, I'd be happy for a double knockout.
Okay,
double count out.
This pits Rob Van Dam, no relation to Jean-Claude.
Jeez, he looks like him though.
Versus Mike the Miz Mazanian.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there wasn't a lot of good stuff here. Van Dam's been in Three-Headed Shark Attack. Three-Headed Shark Attack.
Sequel to Two-Headed Shark Attack.
I didn't know there was a Two-Headed Shark Attack.
That's the truth.
Is there?
Yeah, it's sequel to Two-Headed Shark Attack.
Good Lord.
I believe the latest one's Five-Headed Shark Attack.
Where are they putting their heads?
I don't know. I really don't know.
So Van Dam was in Three-Headed Shark Attack, and one of your faves, Jared, Sniper Special Ops, co-star Steven Seagal.
Remembered as being the film that Seagal couldn't be bothered to walk up a flight of stairs and got a stunt double.
Now,
a couple of times.
Now, Van Dam obviously comes out heavily, like a drunken bum. He comes out, but he starts swinging.
Yeah.
Now the Miz fires back with the Marine 3 through 6.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any of them. I think the quality of the Marine films was dropping with each film.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just 6 is basically probably a production in high school or something like that. He didn't mind a couple of Christmas films either, Christmas Bounty or Santa's Little Helper.
I'm not going to watch either of them. No
This is a tough one to call.
No to do so.
I mean, this sort of fights like James Bone Crusher Smith versus Joe Bushner. Where Bone Crusher bloody threw out his shoulder after a round.
Yeah.
They couldn't put it back in.
Yeah.
This one can go either way. Surely your co-star was Seagal, your surname's Van Dam.
You win.
You get the money.
Look, his form in Sniper, Special Ops, it's standout bad, and that's saying a lot because the movie is dreadful. So
you're going with a miss?
The commissioner has come out and said, both of you, fuck off. You both lost. Give me my belt. Get out of here.
I thought you'd give the Miz basically by default.
No, I don't want any of the Miz. I don't want a bar of him.
That has really thrown a cat amongst the pigeons.
Well, the bloke, didn't he win like the Real World or something?
Yeah,
and parlay
like
that into, I think he was on Tough Enough or something.
I'm not sure. He was definitely in the Real World.
But he parlayed it into a wrestling gig.
I mean, you can't...
good on him.
Yeah, you can't knock the bloke. He managed to get into the industry and he's obviously talented enough to stay in it.
You've done your parlaying. Don't worry about the movie industry. Don't parlay into that. We don't need it.
I'm waiting for the Marine 7.
Yeah, well, every time you make a bad one, you're closer to a good one, aren't you?
Exactly. It's like Saws 2 through 7.
Yeah, exactly.
The next one will explain what happened. Okay, now the old school belt. This is why I've been looking forward to this one.
Yeah.
Rowdy Roddy Piper.
Mm-hmm.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Versus Jerry Lawler.
Yeah.
Now, just to let you know, Rowdy actually already currently owns a belt. The Indestructible Testicles belt.
Yeah, that's right. He's got the balls of steel. He's got the balls of steel belt.
I mean, look, I could have called it the balls of steel belt if Jerry was getting kicked in the nuts.
Yeah.
Which I believe he possibly could have been by Jim Carrey.
Possibly.
Rowdy, the good of Rowdy, they live.
Yes.
And look, that is a bona fide full role for him. It's a hero role.
Gem.
Lawler's best, Man on the Moon. I mean, it's a well-regarded film, but he's not really in it that much.
Controversy. I mean, he's playing himself.
But still...
In the best part of his kind of wrestling
Is he
career.
playing himself to some acclaim?
Oh, well. He's himself. He was probably pretty happy with how he went.
Do you think he really wants to go on, I don't think I was quite up to par?
I think this is a disqualification. He's pulled out the brass knuckles with this one. It's a foreign object. It's not allowed.
Hang on, we're going to have a look at his badge just in case you think it's good.
Look, foreign object. It's disallowed. The refs come and waves him off. Get that out of here.
Hang on, though. Rowdy's not a shoo-in because his bag consists of Hell Comes to Frogtown, Tag Team, which was a abandoned pilot with him and Jesse the Body Ventura, wrestlers turning into cops.
I did watch a couple of minutes of it. Just see, avail myself.
Did you?
Looks pretty on.
Is it on YouTube?
Yeah, I think the whole thing's on YouTube.
Oh, awesome.
I didn't watch the whole thing.
And Immortal Kombat.
It's straight up and down for me.
You're giving it to Rowdy Roddy Piper.
What's Lawler got? Man on the Moon's his best one. It doesn't count.
Lawler played himself.
Yeah,
all the things
in a biopic of somebody else.
Okay.
Reliving a great stint in his wrestling career.
Because Piper...
And I admire him. He gets bonus points for having to put up with fucking Jim Carrey's bullshit for however long he was on set. He probably deserves a belt for that.
No,
Jim Carrey should have been belted, that's for sure. He was carrying on like an absolute goose.
Piper gets it basically because his one sort of main role was a pretty good film.
Yeah. I'll give it to you this way. Lawler's other films don't move the needle at all.
Girls Gone Dead and Life with Mikey, just to let everyone know. If you look at it, sort of find them.
Yeah, that's not me. I'm not looking to find them. Rowdy Roddy Piper's, as you said, you've got a cult classic in They Live, and for me, a genuinely good performance.
Yeah,
from him.
solid performance.
The beating of a lifetime from Keith David. Hell Comes to Frogtown. Look, I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it, but it's got cult cred too.
Has it?
Yeah, it had sequels. And there's a small section of people that like it.
Very small.
The other thing too, Immortal Kombat, absolute rubbish sort of fare, but he's teaming up with Sonny Chiba in that one.
Yeah,
so
he is.
The guy's he's ticking many more boxes than the King.
He's working on the other markets. European markets, the
Asian
Asian
was
markets.
branching out, mate. He was taking tours to, Japan.
Wasn't he
pro
back wrestling in the 2000s?
Piper?
Yeah.
Oh, he might have done a few little bits and pieces here and there. They all do.
Yeah, true.
They all get a call up from Vinnie Mac and say, yeah, no, I've got a weekend free.
I mean, they're all always sort of interested. Okay, so Rowdy Roddy Piper takes the old school belt.
Comfortably,
yeah, in a canter. He basically whipped Lawler from minute 1.
Yep.
And then put him down in a,
had some help from, here comes Jim Carrey to the ring. he pulls out the steel chair and assaults Jerry Lawler. And Roddy Piper gets a quick count. See you later.
All right, a facial hair belt. Some pretty good, mows and beards and goatees in this particular blue. Between one Bill Goldberg and Jesse the Body Ventura.
Are you ready for pain? Are you ready for suffering? If the answer is yes, then you're ready for Captain Freedom's workout.
Now, Jesse's got a real ace in the hole, hasn't he?
Man, he does.
And he's not in it for a long time, but he fits the bill for what they were after in Predator.
Jesse the Body is a hopeless actor, but in the Predator, he was essentially just cutting wrestling promos. He's just looking at the camera, talking about, I'm a sexual terrorist, all that sort of crap. That's just wrestling promo. Just look down the camera and just go nuts, mate.
And he also had the running man up his sleeve.
Yeah.
Which is a tidy with it. It's not brilliant, but solid enough.
And he was pretty good in that one.
And if I ever have to see him in spandex going, work it. That sort of shit.
But, that suited him. It was over the top nonsense, and he fit the role.
Okay. The bad. Abraxas.
Do we have to talk about it?
Guardian of the Universe.
You know who his co-star was in that?
No.
I bet you do.
Who?
Sven Ole Thorsen.
Oh, right, Sven!
Yeah.
Was that actually a legitimate role for Sven, or was he just a bloke standing in the corner?
Well, they're the two headliners.
If you can call it that.
So I think the movie was standing in a corner somewhere.
Oh, Sven. No, without Arnie as a failsafe.
For some reason, I got a feeling that when I was looking this stuff up, I think it was directed by the same bloke that did 3-Headed Shark Attack.
I'm surprised he was still around after Abraxas.
It might have been a different
If you
one.
really want to hear Abraxas get torn to pieces, listen to We Hate Movies. They
watched it?
They ripped through it. And there's quite a number of very funny Jesse the Body Ventura impersonations going on.
Yeah.
Tag team, of course.
Yep.
Teamed up with Roddy Piper. And he was in Batman and Robin.
Yes, he was.
Which basically is this close to disqualification. Like, if you're in that...
To his credit, he was in it for about 10 seconds.
Yeah, he's only like a guard.
He's a prison guard
or something.
and Poison Ivy.
Yeah, that's right.
Don't mind us, ma'am. Piss off,
He was
mate.
even bad in that section. Now,
Well, the best, the most acting that he had to do was when she blew the pheromone stuff at him.
Yeah.
He's got to roll the eyes around and kind of start smiling. It's dreadful.
He struggles to convey that he's possibly,
Definitely Jesse the Body, not Jesse the
face.
Emoting face. There's a reason he wasn't called that.
Goldberg, look, there's not a lot good in the Goldberg canon, is there?
Speaking of automatic disqualifications,
Looney Tunes back in action at the Longest Yard, but he's not really... I mean, he's been in Longest Yard more than...
Yeah.
Because he was played by the guards.
Yeah.
So there's at least some...
And he played football, so
I mean,
he's got a reason to be there.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that a Sandler film is one of his good ones... That's trouble.
Says it all, really.
The bad, Santa's Sleigh. I'll never get that 75 minutes of my life back after watching that, thinking we might do it on the podcast, and then we called an audible late at the line. I had to put up with that shit.
You took one for the team, mate.
Half Past Dead 2. A sequel, a low-budget sequel to a Seagal picture.
It's a low-budget Seagal film, yeah. Excellent. We're trading on Steven Seagal's name, but we can't get Seagal. What can we do with it?
Well, they couldn't find a stunt double willing to walk upstairs and cover his face.
Yeah, Goldberg said, look, Bill, we don't know if you can replace Steve. Look, I'll walk upstairs. Yeah. I'll do a stunt or two. You're in. Thanks, Bill.
He also pops up in something called Checkpoint. Yeah, look, I think it's Jesse the Body gets the job done here.
He's lucky.
Predator sort of puts him out of the top.
Yes. Well,
he's probably lucky because Batman and Robin's does a lot of the good work, and so does Brexit.
Well, with Goldberg's resume, the Running Man will just about put him over the top.
Yeah, Goldberg lacking something. Good solid goatee, which he rocked his entire career.
He looks like because his head's so kind of large around, he kind of looks like it's a ventriloquist puppet sort of piece.
Yeah,
He's just got that little section of his face.
Jesse the Body rocked a mustache for most of his career.
Yes.
Which is always good.
Now he's a fan of tie-dye, and I think he still wears headbands because he's gone bald.
Yeah, I saw an interview with him. I think it was on ABC or something.
Yeah.
It was all right. He touched on a few interesting subjects. He's an interesting cat. Like, he's done a bit of everything.
Yeah.
Not well, but he's done it all.
He's tried. He's tried it all.
Okay, look, this is one of my favourites that I was really looking forward to. And people would be surprised that one of the combatants in this particular belt is not perhaps higher up, fighting for an Intercont belt or a championship belt. This is the direct-to-video Hell belt. And this has got a couple of ex-champs floating around in it. Hulk Hogan.
I feel justice is giving us all our due, man, because the foundation of the prayers, the vitamins, and trade in the largest arms in the world.
And Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Steve Austin's time has come. And when I get the shot, you're looking at the next WWF champion. And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so.
Okay. Now, just to let people know, just quietly, on IMDb, Hulk Hogan's sex tape is listed as a short. I kid you not.
Outstanding.
It is listed as a short. I don't know what that says about Hulk Hogan in the sack.
Look, no judgment here, Hulk.
Okay, so Hogan. Here's the good for Hogan. Rocky 3.
Yep.
Thunder Lips or Thunder Thighs or whatever
Thunder
his name
Lips,
was.
yeah. Which was actually before he was real famous.
Yeah. I put in Thunder in Paradise.
There's no other place it could be.
And I also threw in Suburban Commando. Now, this is pure nostalgia because I only ever saw the movie once when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Thought it was awesome.
Yeah, thought it was
I have
great.
not seen it since.
Yep.
So, that's the best of Hulk Hogan's resume for me. The worst of it, Mr. Nanny. Three Ninjas High Noon at Mega Mountain.
Fair.
Santa with muscles.
Even fairer.
Whoa.
What would you rather watch? Santa with muscles or Santa Slay again?
I'd watch Santa with muscles just because it just sounds stupid.
Just for something fresh.
Yeah, freshen things up. Now, Stone Cold came out of the box all right because he had the Expendables and it was a reasonable role. He was also in one that I kind of didn't mind. Liked the idea of it. It wasn't overly successful in its execution, but it was called The Condemned.
Shit movie.
Shit movie. But
What are you talking about?
Right.
What are you talking
I
about?
got something out of The Condemned.
You're like his manager. You're
Look, then again,
spruiking his wares.
I saw The Condemned 15 years ago.
No, The Condemned is crap.
10 years ago.
I was the same. I like the idea.
The idea was good, but the execution wasn't.
It's that standard kind of, last man standing,
I believe
death match kind
it
of
was
shit.
written by Friday the 13th Part 8 director Rob Hennon. So no surprise it probably didn't fully come off.
No. Yeah, Expendables, he was solid in that because he was just your henchman trading on his muscles and
he got the shit kicked out of him by Stallone.
Yeah, but it was a solid fight scene. I enjoyed that.
That was good. Yeah, that was a good fight scene. And he's also in The Longest Yard. And again, perfect role. Big, plays one of the guards. Probably played some football in his college days.
He's also in Scream 3, wasn't he?
Yeah, but I think that was more of a cameo.
Yeah, minor role, but shit, mate. Look at some of the stuff you've listed here. It's cameo central.
Let me give you his bad though, but it's got some branches of good attached to it. Maximum Conviction, co-star Steven Seagal.
Where's the good there?
Steven Seagal.
Yeah.
The Package, co-star Dolph Lundgren.
Good.
Recoil, co-star Danny Trejo.
Good.
This is why I'm saying he's going to win this bout, which people will... There'll be controversy here. There's controversy.
No, there's not.
His bad still gets me in there.
There's not a controversy. There's one dickhead. There's one dickhead hanging over the rails going, yeah, he's been robbed. Ref, turn your back.
The Hulkster's resume and his filmography is
trash.
It's tragic.
Because he always wanted to be the star of something, so
he couldn't step into a minor role and do a good movie where he was playing a smaller part.
But regardless, I'm taking Rocky 3, which is the only time he really ever did that. You also forgot to mention No Holds Barred.
Oh, come on!
Classic! No Holds Barred. Zeus.
It's No Holds Barred. You're going to have the audacity to put No Holds Barred as
audacity's ass.
Taking point. You're saying that's tiptoeing it over the edge?
No Holds Barred.
No
Classic.
way.
Classic. And Thunder in Paradise, quite frankly, I'd watch that 5 times before I'd watch Stone Cold's back catalogue. I love Stone Cold, mate. I was I went through my wrestling days. I was, started with the Hulkster and that sort of stuff. I went right through the Attitude Era.
What about
I love
Ric
Stone
Flair?
Cold. I was a fucking ball bag walking around in an Austin 316 hat. Okay? But I'm rolling over on the bloke. Yeah.
Were you all saying Kappa trackies?
No, I didn't have any Kappa trackies.
Just quietly.
I'm going to get down to the Dirty Dog Martins to get myself some Kappa trackies.
Yeah, what? Split decision.
No, it's not.
Going to roll.
It's not a split decision.
Austin gets him done there.
No, I'm not. It's going to have to go to. It's going to have to go to a vote, mate.
Expendables is on par with Rocky 3.
No.
Yeah.
No. Rocky 3 might be the best Rocky. The Expendables is not par. Get off. You fool. God. The Expendables was a walk down memory lane that just hit a couple of, nice little points that made you smile. At the end of it, you're like, fuck, I'd like to watch Rocky again.
Yeah, well, I think you're just trying to put Hogan in here because he was, the king of our era.
Oh, fuck, he's got award-winning shorts on his resume, mate.
I forgot to include his short. Oh, shit, that probably gets him over the line by a dick.
No, I needed to go to a vote. If you're not going to roll over, it's got to be. Okay. I don't know how you can put Stone Cold anywhere near Hulk's.
Okay.
And Hulk does not. Don't mistake that as me saying Hulk's got a great resume. He doesn't.
We're going to put this out to the people.
I'm stupid, but I'm not that stupid.
We're going to put this out to the people, right? Yeah. When this episode airs, we want who thinks Hulk Hogan's resume is better than Stone Cold's. Who gets the job done? And that does not include Hulk Hogan's award-winning short.
It definitely includes No Holds Barred, though.
Okay, No Holds Barred. I was going to put No Holds Barred in there. I don't remember. I remember watching No Holds Barred, but I don't remember anything about it. It was a wrestling match. All right, okay. So that one's going to a vote.
Yeah.
Okay, the one and done belt.
Yeah, this is tough.
This one is tough.
Yep.
Because you got Macho Man Randy Savage.
I'm talking about all the way to the top, yeah. Unjustifiably in a position that I'd rather not be in, but the cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.
Yep.
As I seem to have put him, Macho Man.
Mucho Man Randy Savage versus Hunk Hogan.
Obviously there was a typo.
The Mega Powers reunited.
Well, Mucho Man, his one film was Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But it was...
And it's essentially a cameo, but it's a bloody good bit of work.
It's a good bit of work, and he's not just, grunting and shit. Like, he's at least speaking.
Mate, shit. He doesn't speak. He is grunting, but he's constructing sentences.
I would rather we saw movies. Yeah, we needed a bit more of that. Versus Andre the Giant. Now, Andre the Giant had a sizable role in The Princess Bride.
Nice pun.
He did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Part of the pun.
What's his name? Fezzik. Yeah.
And it works.
Yeah.
Surprisingly well.
He was extremely endearing. He was very entertaining in that movie.
I believe there's a doco coming out about him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind checking that out.
Yeah, Bill Simmons taking his wares to HBO now. Really? On ESPN. Yeah. So it's basically a 30 for 30 if HBO was making them. Yeah. I'm all over it.
This one's a tough one because Spider-Man, say what you want about it, I still think a very good movie.
You watch it now and there's a bit of mugging and it's a bit of, but it was kind of the, it's set superhero films into the stratosphere.
Yeah.
Basically.
And 5 years before that, they were saying it couldn't be made.
Yes.
Yeah, the special effects weren't up to the...
Just quietly, who was saying Spider-Man couldn't be made?
It was back in
We could have got it done. Couldn't we made Superman?
Oh, well, they made that one where they... Yeah, where the one Roger Corman made, where fire and a big net had come out. So
they also had the Japanese one where he had a giant robot and motorbikes and stuff.
Oh, Lord, what's that? Okay, so this is a tough one. Spider-Man v Princess Bride.
Yeah, okay. I'm throwing down my vote.
Yeah.
Andre.
Yeah.
It is close, but his role was great. That movie I watched like dozens of times.
Yeah.
It was one of those videotapes I had that was always just, Princess Bride, whack it in. So I watched that movie dozens of times.
He is in it substantially.
Yeah.
And gives a solid performance.
He's like a henchman. But
now, if
he's
Mucho Man had more time on... if Mucho Man had more time on the thing, we would have seen the seams in his acting skills.
Yeah, if Mucho Man had more screen time, that's when his grunting would have become a little bit much and a little...
Then again, 5-time Oscar nominee Willem Dafoe seemed to be grunting it up as well.
Yeah, true.
Hamming it up to a treat.
I'm not... this is one of those matches that's gone on for ages. Both men have put on a technically, excellent, spectacular bout. But Andre's got him in the end, for me.
Yeah, definitely.
Glad we agreed on one.
Yeah, that's good.
Fucking stone cold, come on.
Oh,
God.
I can't wait.
Do you want my Austin 316 hat?
Oh,
I don't want it.
You still got it?
I think so.
This is where we get down to the big hitters. These are the big belts, okay? Mm-hmm. Now, these are guys who have been in films that have made money, right? Not just the kind of shite we've given you here in these other ones. There's some really good...
little bit of that.
There's a bit of shit, but what I mean is they were straight to theatres. There was money involved.
Yeah.
And not just direct-to-video stuff.
Yep.
The Intercontinental Belt. John Cena v. Kevin Nash.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Cena, his early stuff was bad.
Yeah.
His box office take currently, though, is about 760 mil worldwide, which is not a bad number. Trainwreck was good.
Yeah, he's actually transitioned into a bit of comedy too, which is unusual for these blokes.
Yes. And in fact, him going away from action has actually made him more palatable, isn't it?
Yeah,
He's better as an actor.
Definitely.
In that sort of role.
Yep.
He was in that Ferdinand just recently.
Yep.
He's in Sisters.
Yeah, he was very amusing. He was the drug dealer.
He's in... Is it Daddy's Home? Or,
one of those. He's in. He's also in that new one. Blockers. That the trailer looks quite funny.
Of course, all the good stuff's in the trailer.
Yeah.
He's bad. It's when he was in action flicks.
Pretty much.
The Marine was pretty average.
Yeah, it was average. wasn't disgraceful.
No, none of them were disgraceful because there was at least a bit of money involved.
It was when they just took a cookie cutter action film and you get a wrestler to put in it. Yeah.
And Cena, big unit, so they're probably thinking action works for him.
Am I right in that was the first WWE movie, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. I think so.
Explains.
And then he was in 12 Rounds, which is a Die Hard with a Vengeance type of rip-off.
Yep.
And it's not much good either, even though it's directed by Rennie Harlan. So his resume's not that bad. But it's better when he gets...
Did you mean to say because it was directed, or even though? Was that correct?
Yeah.
It's not that good because it was directed by Rennie
Harlan.
No, that's a bit rough.
It was later in Rennie's career.
I do.
He lost some of his...
He lost a little bit, but I don't mind Rennie.
No, Rennie knows how to blow something up.
Yep.
Now, Kevin Nash, he's got about 700 million worldwide in his films. Now, he's good.
Hasn't headlined any of them, though, so that's going to hurt him.
No, he's never been the star. Now,
he's looking to find his way into the big leagues, but he's got to prove that he can headline, and he hasn't done it.
Plays a decent heel.
Yeah, he does, yeah.
Magic Mike, I didn't see Magic Mike, but I heard it was all right.
Mm-hmm.
John Wick. Mm-hmm. He turns up in John Wick. I don't know where. Okay, I don't remember seeing him.
I can't actually remember him being in there for a large portion.
No, it wouldn't have been. And he's also in The Longest Yard. Now, I believe he might have played college footy as well, so he's another one that came in as a guard. He's in The Punisher, the first Punisher movie, which we all agreed was shit.
In fairness, the part he was involved in was one of the parts that I remembered of it, thinking, that was
that punch-up was good.
Yeah.
Something called Monster Brawl? And this is the lowest ebb for anyone on this list. I think it's a sci-fi film or a asylum film called Almighty Thor.
Yeah.
So it's a rip-off of Thor.
Actually, you know what? I think that was the one that was directed by the bloke that did the two-headed shark attack. So.
And he's playing Odin.
Yes.
So there's a disparity between Anthony Hopkins and Kevin Nash.
Hopkins, Nash,
yeah, but
on par.
Remember, two-headed shark attack director saying, "What's Hopkins' asking price?"
But if you look, I haven't seen that particular rendition of Thor, but if it was a similar sort of role that Odin's playing, am I led to believe that you're getting him for a couple of scenes of acting, or
I don't know. I would really like to see.
I wouldn't think so.
Just to give Kevin a little bit of a chance.
Wasn't Richard Grieco in that?
He was.
That's
That's not helping. Look, the Intercontinental Belt's going to Cena. Nash is a big player.
What about the wild card? Super Shredder.
The wild card.
Yeah.
Yeah, look.
He should have busted into that party and dropped a jackknife powerbomb on Vanilla Ice. That would have been the best course of action. But look.
That's one of the worst songs in the history of mankind, isn't it? The Ninja Rap. Oh. But the reason why it goes to Cena is Cena's a legitimate headliner.
Yeah.
The movies are now the comedy films he's been in. He's starting to show some chops.
Yeah,
and I'm not saying Kevin Nash can't act,
but Nash at this point is a glorified stuntman.
Kind of, yeah.
You get him for a recognisable role in a rather than 2 seconds getting punched out by someone. You get him for a lengthy fight scene with the man of the 2000s, Thomas Jane, for example.
Maybe he could be man of the 2020s.
Man of the 2020s. Look, Jane's time is still coming. It's still the millennium, mate.
It's got a long. He's just warming up, mate.
Yeah.
No, but Nash, I think also Magic Mike didn't hurt him.
No,
that was kind of a role.
He's got a bit of acting to do in that, doesn't he? Just a little.
He's got a little bit of acting to do. Magic Mike Triple X, I think he's got more acting to do because McConaughey exited from that one, so there's a bit more. That I believe that one sucks, but I haven't seen it. Now, this is the big hitters. This is the championship belt.
This is the shit fight championship belt.
This is the shit fight championship belt. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
If you're some man, what The Rock is cooking.
Versus Dave Bautista. Now, did Batista have a nickname?
I think he just went by Batista.
Right.
I think I was exiting wrestling fan.
You were taking off the 316 hat.
I was tucking my 316 hat back in my pocket and not outing myself as a wrestling fan after that point.
I cannot believe you had a 316 hat.
I had more than that. I think I had his VHS. I think I had the Austin 316 VHS. Might have had a T-shirt.
What was 316? Was it
Austin
a Bible
316? Reference? Yeah, because Jake the Snake had returned as a Bible thumper as part of his character. So it was John 316 this, and then when Austin really kind of peaked, was in a rivalry with him, and one of his lines was Austin 316 says, "I just whooped your ass."
Right.
I think that was it. So then basically everything from that point on was Austin 316 for a couple of years. So
good God.
Yeah, worked for me.
Jake the Snake was still running around. Well, that would have been in the late 90s?
96, 97.
Was he sober?
No, he wasn't back for long. I think it was very, very soon. I think that was basically his last big run. So.
Right.
Do you want to get back to talking about shit movies?
No, because there's a couple of decent movies here. The Rock, $9 billion worth of box office worldwide. The Good, the other guys, Jumanji. There's a shitload of good, reasonable stuff here.
Yeah, Pain and Gain.
Pain and Gain. There's nothing. I'm not going to lie. I wouldn't exactly look, when I was looking through his resume, I was surprisingly going, there's nothing here I would say was great.
He still doesn't have a Predator up the sleeve.
No. What he's got is, he's got a lot of really popular popcorn films, and he got himself into a nice little earner with Fast and Furious.
Yeah, he's got himself a lot of 3 out of 5s, really entertaining stuff that it's for any action movie fan, you're happy to sit through it because it's kind of it's not what it used to be. You don't have your action heroes anymore. The Rock's one of the last ones, really, that's still peddling this stuff. Vin Diesel's trying to muscle his way in there, but he needs to go.
Well, the We Hate Movies guys were doing Fate of the Furious.
Yeah.
And that was one of their conversations, was Diesel or Johnson? And they're all going, Johnson.
It's not a conversation. It's not a conversation.
So Johnson would entertain me.
If Diesel wasn't producing, I think he's gone by now.
Yeah.
I think and whoever's actually producing him is like, we got The Rock now.
Yeah.
Move him on.
But see, I think the Rock might move on from that.
Yeah, because he
something
can.
like Jumanji showed.
He can move on. Diesel can't.
Nobody had any high. There wasn't high hopes for Jumanji.
Yeah.
And then it took off.
Yeah, and it was a bloody good movie. It was good fun.
So, my only concern is what you said the other day. Skyscraper looks like a steamer. It does. It looks like a fucking steamer.
But you know what? I'll probably go and watch that.
But it's probably an entertaining steamer.
Because see, look, San Andreas was a bit of a steamer, but I watched that and I thought, that was pretty average. But I enjoyed my time in the cinema.
What's happening is The Rock is coasting. The Rock's like the Foo Fighters. Doesn't matter what the album is and how bad it might be.
Yeah.
3 out of 5 Rolling Stones.
But he still doesn't have an Everlong or a My Hero.
No, he doesn't. He needs a predator, as you say, a predator.
Yeah.
Skyscraper is not it.
Is it Rampage?
It's not Rampage. It's definitely not Skyscraper.
Come on.
And it's not the spin-off Fast and Furious with him and Jason Statham. That's what I'm saying. He's got all these films, and they're all going to make money.
Yep.
But none of them are going to be. This is his legacy.
Yes. Still to come.
Still to come, yeah. And he's capable. He's capable of getting a legacy. Stop making ballers. Give yourself a bit more time. Give yourself a bit more time to find that legacy film by not making everything you come across.
Yeah.
He seems to be working non-stop.
Yeah, man needs to stay busy.
Now, here's bad. Tooth Fairy. Mm-hmm. Doom. Doom is the bottom of his barrel. I remember thinking Walking Tall, not a very good film. But
Walking Tall's miles better than
I remember watching Doom and going, what the fuck is this? Like, what is this?
Yeah. That was when he was still kind of...
He ended up playing the villain in that, didn't he?
But he still hadn't kind of found the niche yet.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but he was still bouncing around a little bit into stuff like the Tooth Fairy, which is just, you know...
Well, I can see why
what was the other Gridiron Gang or whatever it was?
I see why he took the Tooth Fairy, because he'd had success with the one about the game plan.
Yeah, I
He had success, so he thought the Tooth Fairy, like Arnie, I'll keep a kids film.
You're not talking me around.
No, that's shit. But Doom is just...
He was thinking Kindergarten Cop was ending up more Jingle all the way,
It was Jingle all the way. I think Doom, he took Doom because it was a game property and he was playing a villain.
Yeah.
And that's why he took it. And it was shocking.
You are not happy.
Now, Batista.
Surprise candidate sneaking in, I think.
Surprise because Batista sort of came out of nowhere. I'd never even seen the bloke.
Yeah.
And then he came out of nowhere, and when I saw him listed as part of Guardians of the Galaxy, I was just thinking, this is a fucking mistake.
Yeah.
And then he steals the film for me.
The first one, yeah, absolutely.
He is the best part of the first movie.
The second one, he's kind of funny, but it's more of you like this guy? We're gonna double the dosage, it's still good enough. It was still funny, but it didn't quite have.
So you had
the first one
both
had.
Guardians of the Galaxy films.
Yep.
Spectre, although not a great movie, that is the best part of the movie.
Good role,
and Daniel Craig punching on.
Yep.
Now I didn't see Blade Runner, but you did.
Yeah.
Is that a decent role?
Yeah. Well, it's very small, but it's acting.
And he's all right?
Yeah, he's all right.
Pulls it off. He's bad, wrong side of town. This was early.
Yeah.
And then something called L.A. Slasher with Misha Barton.
I've heard of that. I could never get my hands on it for some reason.
Did you like BC Slasher in it and thought,
yeah.
I better get my hands on this?
I did. You forgot Kickboxer.
Kickboxer
remake.
What was it?
Tong Po.
Kickboxer Redemption?
Yeah, Kickboxer Returns. But Kickboxer... Shit, I can't even remember.
Tong Po. Look, he was probably the best... No,
Tong
Van
Po.
Damme. Van Damme was the best thing.
Van Damme was the best thing by a mile in that movie.
That means Batista.
When did he learn how to act?
He did.
Van Damme.
I don't know.
He did. JCVD.
JCVD was very good, yes.
And
I heard he's actually all right in Johnson in that TV show, which got canned, unfortunately.
Yeah. Look, not surprising.
No,
I didn't think it could. It would have made a good movie.
Yeah.
90 minutes of that.
Yeah.
Gold.
Would have worked out nice.
But I think somewhere along the line he took a couple of acting classes and now he's getting paid to act.
I think, this is slightly off tangent, but I think Van Damme realised that his days of being the star, he had to learn how to take roles that were slightly different.
Yeah.
Or he had to be willing to be a villain or
a villain.
Yeah, a villain or play a smaller part in some of these movies. And bring a little bit of... And give him a little bit of sort of, he could be a bit more loose like he was in Kickboxer.
Yeah.
Because he's not carrying Kickboxer.
Would you suggest that maybe Seagal think about this kind of...
I would suggest if he was willing to turn up and actually do what he's getting paid for.
But Steven Seagal is the Marlon Brando of action movies.
He is.
Without
2 Oscars.
He's going to turn up to your set, put an ice bucket on his head, so I'm not getting off this seat.
Yeah, but the difference is...
He is seated for large portions of that role.
But you know what? The difference was Brando sold you on the ice bucket. he was so charismatic, he sold me that the ice bucket was a good idea.
I don't know whether he was charismatic. I think it was just that the bloke was so large at that point that you couldn't forcibly remove him from the set.
He also brought a little mini-me guy in the mix too.
No, I think didn't they meet on the set and he decided this bloke was his best mate, so he's got to be in every shot.
Oh, that documentary is piss funny.
Oh,
it's piss funny. Okay, so we got Batista's worldwide box office was a tidy 2.5 billion.
Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy takes care of a fair bit of that, but and Spectre, but that's you got to be in it. You got to be in it to win it. Look, looking close at it, there's not. This was going to be the problem with this.
Yeah.
It was always going to be laid down that The Rock was.
It's still a walkover.
The top of the tree.
Yeah, absolutely.
And initially, I was actually considering not having him in it because I was just thinking we know he's going to win, but when we broke it down into belts, it just felt more doable.
Yeah, and Batista, look, essentially, you give him another 5 years, things might be looking a lot better. The problem is anything that he's got a large role in, other than Guardians, and even that's he's a side character. He just gets a lot of time in it. It's ordinary. Whereas The Rock is headlining movies that are doing the job.
Well, they're entertaining and they're making money.
Yeah.
There's one that came to Netflix, I think, just the other day was Batista, and I don't believe it's a great film or anything, but it's one where he actually is a main role and he actually has to act. And the reviews I read said he is actually very good.
He is. That's the surprising thing, because when it was in Guardians, it's like, he fits because he's just a massive unit. You paint him green, and there you go. But it was like he was so damn good. That was the surprising part. So now you're seeing him, then he gets that role in something like Blade Runner, and you watch him in that and say, the bloke can act.
Yeah.
So
he's got it
going. He's got it going. He can do the silent henchman, the Spectre type.
Yeah.
Don't say much, just get in the blues, or he can give you a little bit more than that, which is good.
But yeah, it's a lay down.
Yeah,
The Rock wins hands down.
Yep.
But as I said to you, looking through The Rock's resume, I have yet to see the big ticket.
Yeah.
The big one.
And for me, he's the standout actor of the bunch.
Yes,
of the wrestlers.
No doubt.
But yeah, like you said, he doesn't have a classic. Second.
Hogan? You still pushing that wagon?
No.
You want him in?
I didn't say, go back and listen to the tape. I said, I'm not saying that his resume is good, but Stone Cold's is not good either.
Stone Cold.
That is the shit fight.
Oh, look, that was probably...
And basically Stone Cold's covered in more shit.
Ultimately, like, those two blokes, Hogan and Austin, were standing 10 metres apart flinging shit at each other.
Yeah, basically. That's it. That's all they were doing. And more of it stuck to Stone Cold.
That's what you reckon. Yeah. We'll wait and see what the people say.
Look, if we're taking your personality into account, maybe the Hulkster's kind of dug himself a pile of shit there that he can't get out of. But
look,
I'm
that's going to be interesting. That's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
So please let us know. Hulk Hogan, or Stone Cold Steve Austin, based on their filmographies.
Let's be upfront here. Your vote will win it for me. Hulk Hogan. We only need one or two. Get on the Hulk wagon.
The Rock definitely. The Rock's the champ.
Yeah.
Of Shit Fight 2018.
By a mile.
Yeah, by a mile.
Yeah.
And in fact, Batista and Cena would be an interesting battle.
Yeah, that's the better
better matchup.
Better matchup, but as you said, you got to split things up here.
Yeah. That's Shit Fight 2018. There will be a Shit Fight 2019, but it'll be about something else.
It's probably good Gibbo's not here because he would have punched someone if he had to talk about movies like this. It would have been Shit Fight in this room.
Yeah, there would have been a shit fight going on.
Someone would have been thrown through the window.
Scheduling conflicts. There's scheduling conflicts. Trying to get everything together.
We've got appearances to make.
To do wrong bet.
Media sort of commitments.
Yeah, there's commitments on left and right, and everyone's sort of busy, but we're trying to get it sorted out so we get wrong bet out.
Yes.
But until then, take it easy, enjoy Shit Fight, and we'll catch up with everyone later. Cheers. Find the podcast at Podomatic or on iTunes. Don't forget to rate and review. Like us on Facebook at Thrill Me Podcast Australia, or contact us at thrillme, all one word, all lowercase, at iinet.net.au.